Welcome to 5 Points Festival. My name is Rachel Davis. With me is the badass Magdalene Visaggio, and you are watching Comics Verse. Hey Magdalene, how's the con going for you so far?
So far, so good.
Wonderful. Well, first things first, congratulations on your Eisner nomination for Kim and Kim. How did it feel hearing the news?
Very bizarre. I feel really outclassed. Like, it's, I'm up against, Tom King's Vision, and which was, by wide margin, I think, the best book of last year. So I hope he wins. He deserves it.
Absolutely. It was a great book. But what was so exciting about your Eisner nomination for Best Limited Series was seeing a small publisher on there and a story that had so much gender representation. How important do you think it is to have such gender representation nominated for such a huge industry award? How did that feel? That was phenomenal.
It felt really good. Again, I'm feeling very outclassed, a little bit of imposter syndrome setting in. But, I think it means a lot that a book like Kim and Kim was able to get that kind of recognition. I think it says a lot for the business and for the industry that we're really trying to move in that direction. I'm really hoping that we see more mainstream publishers other than, the most confrontational punk rock small press on the block, tackling this stuff more and more. And there are so many great trans artists and writers out there who are making fantastic comics, and I would love to see more of them start getting work. I should not be the only mainstream trans writer with a book out right now.
Absolutely, we need more representation always. If I could ask, as a small publisher's editor, I would love to know what are the benefits of working with a small publisher, say over a larger, more nationally or internationally known publisher? Why do you like working with Black Mask and soon Oni Press?
So the thing I like about working with both Black Mask and Oni is a really wide degree of creative freedom. So I've done work for both big and small presses. So I've gotten some Marvel. I have some Marvel work coming out. I've done some DC stuff, and it's a very different experience where it's a lot more. There's a lot more direction. There's a lot more control exercised from editorial. Black Mask lets me do whatever the hell I want as long as I turn in my books on time. They don't really care, and Oni has more oversight, but the process of working with them is still there's still tons of independence. There's still not really much in the way of editorial mandates. I'm still pretty free to do whatever I want. And the big advantage of that is that it gives me the freedom to communicate my voice and to tell the kinds of stories I'm interested in without any real constraint, which is fantastic. And that's something that I always miss when I do Big Two work. Because, you can come in with your idea and they'll be like, yeah, but we're not interested in that quite as much. So, I actually just pitched a big thing at a mid-tier publisher. It's not a Big Two thing, but I still can't say what it is. NDAs are involved. And so I walked in with my direction for it, and we got all these notes back from editorial that took out what I thought was a really big, important theme that I was interested in exploring with it. They were like, we're already doing a book that kind of is dealing with the same theme, so we don't want to take this book in that direction. So I didn't have the ability to tell exactly the story that I wanted to there.
Absolutely. And I feel like with your stories, it's what I love about Thelma Louise is Kim and Kim and Teens Are Go. Just these two badass women on an adventure story. The classic adventure story, just taking on the world, being who they are. Those are the best kinds of stories, in my opinion. So, what kind of adventure stories are you attracted to?
Oh, I don't even really know how to answer that. I like all kinds of stuff. So I don't even think there's I can't think of a kind of adventure story. I like adventure stories. I really do like buddy movies. I guess that would be a thing. I love the one-on-one dynamic, which is something I do in both Kim and Kim and in Quantum Teens and in some other stuff that hasn't been announced. Just two people teaming up to take on some kind of obstacle. You get a really interesting kind of back and forth that either solo titles or team or ensemble casts. You just have a very different dynamic. And I really love the quickness that you can get when you only have 2 people that you're working with.
Absolutely. So in Kim and Kim Volume 2, which is coming out in a couple of months, I know you can't tell me anything about it, but I have to ask, if Kim and Kim ever came to Earth, what would go down?
What would go down if they came to Earth? I don't know. It would depend on when and where they showed up. The beauty of the Kim and Kim universe is that literally anything happened because I use the multi-dimensional angle, so that they could end up in like feudal Japan, or they could end up in 60s Vegas, and those are all like equally valid places for them to go because I've got no like firm time setting for anything. I like to think that mostly they would probably just end up like ending up in like 80s New York and going to some CBGB's punk shows and inadvertently starting a big fight that they can't finish.
Oh my goodness. Fan fiction awaits. Thank you so much for your time, Magdalene. For more interviews, as well as reviews, videos, and podcasts, make sure to check out comicsverse.com. My name is Rachel Davis. See you next time.